All right, it's Monday, October 13th, just following up on Coinbase. Described I bought it here at the lower blue line on the kind of the second push lower failure and then resumption higher. I just scaled out here at this upper blue line, set up an overage trade to see if this becomes, in fact, the beginning of a reversal on this stock. We're not there yet, but intraday price structure might be the first link towards a potential reversal to the upside. I'll describe that again in a minute. My break even stops down here around 347 right now, because I scaled out 4 points higher, so right about here is my break-even stop should all this fail, somewhere near the lows of the day. We'll see if it heads higher now. As I described in the previous videos, this is a stock that had a little bit of a red bar yesterday to end the week, and then a 2 down week this week, but we're into a gap here in the big middle of this big green bar. So this is a key area. If we want to really stay weak, we can get all the, and we follow through to the midpoint of that green bar, then we're possibly getting back to those lows. But it could just be a little bit of a pause area, holding this gap and reversing higher. In order for that to happen, we're going to have to get above the weekly open and then turn green and start back up again. And that is a good sign we're holding in this gap area where you would almost expect price to hold if the uptrend is going to resume. And we're early in the week, so we have plenty of time to get back to that open. So at the moment on the daily chart, it's still a 2 down day into some of this gap area, and we haven't had the hammer reversal of the 2 down green bar yet to project like maybe a 2 up bar going into tomorrow. But nevertheless, the opening price action was interesting that it came down on one push, orderly pause. We had plenty of time and almost 2 attempts here, red bar and then another red bar to head lower, and it didn't want to make that secondary push lower. So that's why I bought it here kind of at this blue line, and now we're following through higher. I scaled out, set up an orange trade. My break-even stops here in case it fails. But if we move higher and end up with a nice, either maybe a green bar or a hammer-looking bar, 2 up tomorrow, and get through the open of the week, then keep an eye for the rest of the week that this might be a stock to continue to kind of watch back to the upside. If we don't do that, then, and we kind of decide just to pause in this area but not really follow through higher, then maybe we have a 2 down week that by the end of the week has a target down here. So we could still go either way, but given that structure, intraday, that kind of set the tone for a potential, move higher and good support in this area. So now at no risk, we can find out what happens and keep an eye on how the daily chart closes and what happens in the days ahead. But for the moment, it's heading back to the upside.